What's going on, guys? It's your boy Gemini. By the thumbnail of this video, you can see what the topic is today. SBMM, your skill rating, your hidden skill rating. Well, we say hidden because, they never tell us that this was in the game until recently. They never admitted about skill-based matchmaking. But yes, there's finally a way to figure out what your hidden skill rating is. And let me just, let you in on a little secret here. It changes. Every fucking match you play, it changes, obviously, because it goes based off of your performance. And your performance is always going to fluctuate based on the competition you're going against. It's all just engagement to keep you engaged in playing the game, right? You do bad for so long, they're going to throw you a couple bones, a couple easy lobbies. You start shredding and doing really good, then you're going to get put in the sweaty lobbies and you're going to start doing bad for a while. It's just up and down roller coaster, just as I thought, as I've been saying for the past 5-6 years now. We're just playing a roller coaster of emotions of a game. And for some people, hey, they like that, right? It's like gambling, the highs and the lows, just an addicting feeling. But yeah, that's what this is. You'll see, I'll put some graphics up on the screen. I made a chart out of, all the skill ratings that they gave me for Black Ops 6. And you'll see it does go up and down a lot. I was actually quite surprised the way they do their skill rating. It's not just 0 to 100 or something. It's actually, you could go in the negatives and then 0 and then the positives. And my skill rating is pretty wild. It's actually in the negatives and it's in the positives. So now if you're wondering where you can find your skill rating, you'll have to go sign into your Activision account and request your data from Activision, like all the data they collect on you. I seen a video of Exclusive Ace showing everyone how to do it. As soon as I seen that, I'm like, all right, I gotta do this. I'll link his video in the description so you guys can see how exactly he did it. It took about 2 weeks for them to send me my data. It says it could take up to a month, but yeah, just keep that in mind. They're probably very backed up because everyone started requesting their data, and I don't think they expected that. Also, the Exclusive Ace, he's conducting a mass experiment where he takes all of our data that we are willing to share with him and, analyze it and make charts out of it and just sort of try to break down how do they calculate our skill rating. What is it based off of? Our KD, our accuracy, all that type of stuff. Personally, I think they do all of it. They calculate everything, honestly. If that's something you're interested in too, I'll have that video linked in my description if you're interested in participating in that. He gives his email and all that on how to share the information with him. But yeah, back to how they calculate our skill. I think it's just super intricate the way they do everything. It wouldn't surprise me. They're tracking how much you move during the game. You'll see I made a chart of that as well. So yeah, if anyone wants to call you a camper, just request your stats and show them how much you move during the game. But no, jokes aside, guys, this is wild stuff, man. But that's enough rambling. Why don't we just get into the stuff right now? I'm gonna throw some charts up. So as you can see by my chart, it's pretty up and down. And hey, I consider myself an above average player. Mostly all I do is snipe 90% of the time. So mind you, this is just someone who snipes all the time. I play Search and Destroy, sometimes with a party, sometimes by myself. And I also play face-off playlists to level up my snipers and try to get feeds once in a while. Something I found interesting was I am in the negatives and the positives. So I don't know, man. If you're in the negative, that doesn't mean you're a bad player. I'm just gonna say it right now. It just means you were performing badly and they made your skill rating in the negative or something. The lowest mine was a negative 205, and the highest mine was a positive 332. And that is just for Black Ops 6. This skill data report includes the past 4 or 5 Call of Duties. In those Call of Duties, I was actually higher. I think the highest I was 500 or 490 something, which is wild. So they must have a different criteria between games, because I play the same play style in all these different games and my KD is around the same in all these different games, maybe by a couple points off, 1.1 or 1.4. The point is, my KD isn't fluctuating that much, so it can't just be based off your kill death ratio. They have some other way of determining your skill for that specific game. Another thing was, there's these really skinny little dips where it just completely drops off, and I'm suspecting those are just games where I was playing a private match or I was AFK and I quit the game. Apparently they don't calculate your skill rating when you do private matches. So just keep that in mind when looking at this graph and your own graph. It will include everything. Private matches, even a game where you sat in there for 5 seconds and then quit because you didn't like the map. It's all included in this. Now, I could have went through and deleted those and made a graph that way, but I didn't really want to, mess with the integrity of how they're calculating our skill, because apparently that all affects your skill rating. That's why when you start to quit matches a lot, you get easier lobbies. Now, if you're wondering how I made these graphs, it was through Google Sheets. I just imported the skill data into a Google Sheets and then created these graphs out of specific columns of data. So just so you know, if you plan on requesting your data from Activision, it won't come with these charts. You'll have to make them on your own or just send them to someone like Exclusive Ace. Like I said, he'll be doing that as well. Even though this is a pretty scummy practice to hide someone's skill rating, I do think it's kind of cool that you actually get to see it, your own personal skill rating, I guess, based on your performance. I'm one of those guys who's always intrigued by the analytics of stuff. So I could have went much deeper with these. I just don't really care to, like, with the time. I'll leave that up to other people. But back to some of these graphs here. Percentage of time moving, like I mentioned before. Am I a camper, guys? No, I'm not no fucking camper. I'm running around with a sniper majority of the time. Honestly, I think this is a big way they calculate your skill because they're analyzing the inputs of your controller, like your keystrokes probably. Who the hell knows, right? You're a movement god. You're going to get matched with other movement gods. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty close to like 90%. I think I averaged this out over all the games I played, and it came out to like 80% of the time I'm moving on average throughout the game. So, I mean, that's not too bad if you're asking me, and I mostly play Search and Destroy. You know, you have to account for that. A lot of camping goes on in Search and Destroy. Now I'm just going to give you guys a further look at some of the other things they track in here, which is just crazy. They're tracking all this stuff. More things that stood out to me is it seems like their tracking isn't even accurate. For instance, there was 1,116 cells within my Google Sheets document when I imported it. If you minus the cells that are taken up by the description of the report and all of that, that would leave you with like 1,000 cells of data, which basically means 1,000 games that I played that they tracked. But if you look at my lifetime games played, it's only at 950. Are they excluding my private matches? Possibly. I don't know. But it does seem like their data isn't even tracking properly. And if you look here, it says that I haven't even received any challenge XP, match XP, bonus XP, miscellaneous XP, accolade XP. And it's like this all the way down my chart for almost every game I've ever played. So I don't know what the hell's going on. They're not even like tracking XP correctly or something. There's no way. These are just all zero. And I think Nero Cinema did a video about how the XP doesn't even add up when you play a game. Is that skill based too? The amount of XP you earn? So even though we have all this data, there's just something off about it for me. I just don't get it. Like some of it seems like skewed or they just not tracking properly. And I know within the game, a lot of the accolades aren't even tracking properly because I've clutched a 1v2, 1v3 in Search and Destroy and you get accolades, you get medals for those. When I go into my thing, it says I have no medals for that. So I can't tell what's going on. Is their tracking system just broken? Like how accurate is the skill data to begin with? I don't know. I'm confused. Anyways, one thing that was interesting as well, lifetime wall bangs. Hey, 324, shit, not too bad. You guys might think I'm hacking. No, I'm not hacking, guys. Wall bangs are my thing. It would make sense to keep track of this if you're trying to like weed out the hackers and stuff, people with wall hacks. I don't know, why else would they be tracking that? For the medals, wall bang medals, I don't know. That was just one I wanted to point out, something I'm proud of. Legit wall bangs, no wall hacks around here, guys. We've been wall banging for years. Over 10 years. Check out the vids on the channel. I got whole montages of wall bangs on like Call of Duty World War II, I believe it was. Wall banging in that game was insane. Speaking of XP, I made a graph of that as well. Total XP per game over time. And trying to see how that correlates with my skill rating. I can't fucking tell. Score per game over time. Then I tried to go a little deeper. You know, Black Ops 6 deaths over time. See how that adds up compared to the kills over time. Now, there was a game where I had like 100-some kills, but I believe that was a private match, so you guys can ignore that. Then, total losses over time, total wins over time. I guess in this game, I'm just a fucking loser, even though I'm above average. I guess I'm just a fucking loser, right? I lose majority of the time. That's what happens when you play solo. You get your shit pushed in. But I mean, the graphs kind of correlate. Something like this would take a lot more time to dive into and really figure out how they calculate your skill rating. One important thing that is missing, like Exclusive Ace said, is the skill of the other players in the lobby. It does not show you that in these reports. That's very important. Obviously, you're doing bad, but you're playing against really good players, so your skill rating will probably increase. Just something to point out. But yeah, guys, very interesting stuff here. Figured I'd share it with you. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions on how to get the skill data or anything else, leave it in the comments. Like I said, I'll leave Exclusive Ace's videos in the description. If this video does well, I might just make more graphs for the past Call of Duties. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. Yeah, man, hidden Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking rating. It is right here for us to analyze. If you can get your data, do it, guys. Let's get as much data as we possibly can to figure out how the hell they're doing their bullshit rigged algorithm matchmaking system. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. I just wanted to bring awareness to the situation for anybody that didn't know. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.